What's going on, everyone? It is Paul, the 920 trader with 920 Trading and Trading Decoded. Today is Monday, February 12th, 2024, and this is how we traded SPY today. So, hey, first off, if you enjoy our content, please give us a like and a subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notifications so you know when new content is dropped. Also, leave us a comment. We would greatly appreciate it. Maybe share with your friends. That would be awesome too. So let's get to the chart. So again, the first thing we do every single morning, folks, is we look for that pre-market low down here at $500.85 and the pre-market high at 501.49. So I'm looking at that, pre-market and thinking, man, there's 65 cents worth of total movement in pre-market. Volume, a vast majority of pre-market, there wasn't a whole lot going on. So my bias kicked in today, folks. My bias kicked in. And I even told the folks in the group, I said, guys, I don't want to bias you, because that's the last thing in the world I want to do with a trader is put a bias in their mind. But my bias kicked in, and I said, you know what? I don't know if I really expect any kind of a move today. And if there is, it probably won't be too much. But again, that's my bias. That was my failing today, folks. That is my failing today. Certainly didn't mean to do that, but let's see how it played out. So the other lines that we have on the chart were, again, we have pre-market low, we have pre-market high. We have open from today, and this is going to be an important number. So that's at 501.17. Also looked at a 30-minute demand zone from Friday. Got another 30-minute demand zone. I think we're sitting way down there, 454.99.58. But anyway, well, let's see if these things actually came into play today. I mean, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. So we weren't doing a whole lot. We opened up today, weren't doing a whole lot. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just going to take a test put in here and see if there's any meat on the bone. So I took it put in here. Closed out right here. Death cross to the downside. So remember, one day last week it didn't work. A couple other days it did work. Death cross to the downside. 920 VWAP and the POC. POC was cruising around right in here at this point. So I thought, you know what? I don't have a whole lot of risk. My risk on this play was up here at 49. I said, you know what? If we breach, and it was a small position. Trust me, it was a very, very small position. Because we just didn't have a whole lot of movement. Volatility was super low. Volatility was around 14% today. And once at 14%, you really can't expect very much to go on. But again, that is my bias today, folks. Hey, it is what it is. That was my bias. So I took it. I said, okay, if I breach this back to the downside, I'm going to stop out of the trade. So a few minutes later, we had a nice cross to the downside. I closed out of the trade right in here because I called it a test play. So the test play for me was I have multiple accounts, and one of my accounts, generally speaking, unless you have low volatility, will not allow you to market into. It'll let you market out of place, but not into place. So I said, you know what? Because of the low volatility today, I'm going to see if I can market into an SPX put, and it let me. So I'm thinking, okay, I know it's low volatility, so it kind of proved that theory. Close it out right in here. Small win. It was a very, very small win. I could buy, a couple of Big Mac meals, something like that. Not a big deal, not a big deal at all. So I'm looking at the chart, and the chart is actually, it's a really, really good looking chart. I mean, we had this cross to the upside right around in here at, a little after 10 o'clock. And I'm thinking, you know what? We're going to get rejected off this same level. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Look at that play to the upside, folks. Look, I mean, this will make it very clear when I open up, when you look at this 5-minute chart. Look at this 5-minute chart. I mean, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I did a video a few days ago on the 20 trade challenge. I also sent out a newsletter. If you have not subscribed to my newsletter, go check it out. It's at 920trading.com. Sign up for the newsletter. But the newsletter was all about trading higher time frames and how it's beneficial in some cases to trade higher time frames. There's a lot less noise and a lot less. They're not heart attack candles like they are on 1 minute. But anyway, that's for another day. But anyway, look at this move. I missed it. I missed it. And I was talking to the group and I said, okay, we got little pullbacks here. So we are, we're kind of pulling back a little bit, and then we're, rally base, rally base, rally base, that kind of thing. And we did. And again, I should have taken a play down in here, or when we breached the pre-market high, but I didn't. I didn't put on the play, not for fear, but because I did not want to break my trading plan. My plan says, okay, I wait for a cross, and you know what? Or something, a double cross, something like that. But anyway, I missed this entire run. I mean, it was an absolute beautiful, beautiful, beautiful run to the upside. That these are the kind of the plays that when we're traders, we kind of live for these trades. $2 move, $3 move. We live for those types of moves. But anyway, I missed the play. So I thought, you know what? We're still going to run up. We're still going to run up. Kind of bounced around, trade or play to the downside. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to take this play to the downside. I'm not going to take it back to the upside because I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you never know what's going to happen once you put on a trade. This candle right in here, this double cross to the upside, a little bit, the candle was a little bit big for me to take that play back to the upside. So I decided against that. But I had a level. Let me just show you this real quick. I'm just going to open up the chart. 503.25. So I had 503.25, which was a level that I had in here. Based on, I think it was a triple bottom, something like that on the 5 minute. Anyway, I had a very, very strong, or maybe it was a triple top. I can show you what it was. That's what it was, right? Somewhere right around in here. Right there. Okay, so triple bottom, something on the 5. And I was, POC was up here. POC was just directly above. So I said, you know what? If we make another cross to the downside, I'm gonna go ahead and play this to the downside. Because I don't have a whole lot of risk. What did I have in there? I had 5 cents worth of risk, 10 cents worth of risk. Very, very, very low risk play right in here. Now, I was looking for multiple levels in here. So as a 920 trader, what we're doing is we rely on the 9 for resistance on the way down. We use it as support on the way up. And then we shoot for our targets. Okay, so we had a couple of different levels that we were looking at. This was going to be my first level down here. About 402 is actually 402.70. It was this old support from earlier in the day. And I said, you know what? Let's see if we can get down to at least that. We got that breach below. And then, once we got past that, we had a couple short levels or smaller levels right in here, 402.39. And I said, you know what? If we can get to VWAP, I'm going to take myself out of the play. We got to VWAP. We barely got to VWAP on this candle right here. I took myself out of the play. It was a really, really, really nice play to the downside. Now, we went back up. We tested the 9, brought it back down, got through this level right here, and got almost to our all-time high from last week. Okay, so from last Friday, I think. But anyway, bounced around. And I thought, you know what, at that point, I'm going to go to lunch. So I went to lunch. And what did I miss? I missed this play back to the downside. So we had a cross back to the downside. I missed it. Several of our members took this back to the downside. I would imagine some took this back to the upside too, and we were still below VWAP, tested that VWAP. But anyway, I missed this play, and I said, you know what? If I get this set up again, I'm going to take this back to the downside. Absolutely not taking it back to the upside because we had levels that we were trying to breach that we had a hard time getting through. And we still had momentum back to the downside. I mean, definitely a sell-off going on during the day. So I took this play back to the downside and wrote it down. This was my target right down in here, folks. That was my target. So that $500.43. That was that double bottom from earlier. Wrote it down. Really, really nice play to the downside. Now at this point in the day, folks, we have an hour in the trading day left. We had beautiful moves to the upside. We had beautiful moves to the downside. So I'm thinking, I'm probably okay not taking another trade the rest of the day. Only because, we've already had really, really good plays. And I wasn't wrong in that. We just kind of bounced around. We had a couple of plays. We had one of our members took a double cross in here at 1524. Trying to get through this $500.84. Again, pre-market low. The levels work throughout the day, folks. And then on the way to that 30-minute demand zone from Friday, never did get down here. I think he took a loss on the play, a small loss, because he had that risk predefined. Now, the good thing about this play right here is the POC was just above. I think it was about 501.03 or 04. So there was very, very little risk. So he asked me later on, he said, was that a good setup? And I said, you know what? It was a good setup. Number one, because you predefine your risk, you had the risk directly above you. And you had a couple of targets down below. So that was late in the day. But again, it was a good setup. It just didn't work out. So when you have a play, folks, when you have a play that it doesn't go your way, instead of thinking negatively about that, like, oh, that was dumb, I shouldn't have done that. No, just think about, just say to yourself, you know what, it just didn't work out. I mean, that's the nature of the trade, folks. When our edge presents itself, we're compelled to put on the trade. And we're compelled to put on the trade because, quite frankly, we never know what's going to happen. You're going to have winners. You're going to have losers. So yeah, that's how she played out today, folks. It was a good day, unexpected day, and it's one of those days that I'd kind of like to have back. I like to consider myself a reasonable trader in that, or logical in that. I generally don't have a bias, but I biased myself this morning. It didn't hurt me to the wrong side, but what it did was it kept me out of a really, really, really nice play to the upside that I could have chased, but chasing is not part of my plan. So unless it is specifically part of your trading process, don't chase trades, folks. Wait for your next setup. We've probably all been in those trades before where it's going a certain direction. You think, you know what, I'm going to jump on this speeding train, and you get run over. You're probably nodding your head right now, because I can't think of a single retail trader out there that hasn't happened to. And that's FOMO. It's fear of missing out, or the regret, ROMO, the regret of missing out. Those are the plays that really, really hurt you. Now, the worst possible thing that can happen when you get into a trade, when you chase a trade, or in other words, you break your rules to get into a trade, the worst possible thing that can happen is you make money on that, because that reinforces some really bad trading behaviors. And we don't like to do that, folks. We like to, number one, have an edge. Number two, stick to our edge. That's our trading plan. So that's how we did it today, folks. Again, it was a decent day. Missed the move, but nevertheless, it was a good day. Now, again, if you enjoy our content, please consider giving us a like and a subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications. That way, when new information drops, you will be the first to know. Also, please leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. And share with your friends. We would greatly appreciate that too. I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Now, tomorrow is CPI day. So we have CPI coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That can be a big mover tomorrow. Kind of wish they do it in regular trading hours. That way we could catch those big moves. But the reality is they do it pre-market. So we will just trade what's in front of us tomorrow. But again, hope everybody has a great rest of the day. And thanks for spending a little bit of time with us this afternoon. And we will see you in the markets.